What is going on, guys? Welcome to your 30-second PHP project video, and in this video what we're going to be doing is we're going to be handling the page that whenever we sent them the confirmation email and gave them a link to click on to finish registering their account. Well, this is the page that handles that information. Pretty much this is the page that we linked them to. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to include a link to the database so this file right here can connect to it. So let's go ahead and include a link, and I probably could have copied this. Includes slash connect.php. Now the reason we even want to connect to the database is because if everything goes smoothly and they didn't mess up their registration or anything, then what this script is basically going to do is it's going to take the information from their temporary users database or table, and it's going to insert it into the permanent users table. And that way we know that, okay, you have valid email, you're not a spammer, you can go ahead and use the site. So I'm going to be doing a couple things. The first thing we're going to do is validate the email. The email that we sent, we want to make sure it's an email. And actually what I did already is, if you remember, I hate typing out regular expressions because they are super long and complicated, and I actually need to, kind of sit and think about it. I went ahead and I typed out the whole thing right here. And what this regular expression is, again, it's going to be available for a download, or you can just copy it right now. What this does is it just checks whatever string was passed through the URL, and it verifies that it is indeed an email format. There are no weird symbols, you need that @ sign, so on and so forth. So that's a regular expression where it's going to pull the email from the URL and verify that it is indeed an email format, and if so, it's going to store that in the variable email. Did I say email? Email. Tomato, tomato, same thing. So the next thing that we want to do is, remember, two pieces of information we're passing through the URL. The email and their secret key, their unique key specific to them. So let's go ahead and handle that key right now. Finish up my if statement. So we want to check one of two things. First, does that key exist? Did it indeed get passed in through the URL? So we just want to check is set, which pretty much means does a variable exist, and the variable whenever we're grabbing it from the URL is $_get, and we named this key in case you don't remember. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to check the length of this key. Now since we made this key using an MD5 hash, all MD5 hashes are 32 characters long. So what we want to do is take the length of this key and make sure it's equal to 32. So what I want to do is actually put this whole thing in parentheses because we're going to be using a couple functions here. The first one, whenever you want to get the length of a string, strlen, it stands for string length. Now the parameter it takes is what variable or what string do you want to measure. So actually I'm going to copy this baby right here. String length of the key, and what we want to do is we want to make sure it's exactly equal to 32 characters long. If so, then this is going to be true and this is going to be true, so this code is going to run. So what we're basically doing is we just want to test that they didn't try to hack our website and enter any of their weird own keys, just trying to mess around, do anything stupid. And by the way, on the topic of hacking, I want to mention this. I know that a couple things are missing here. This might be vulnerable to cross-site scripting or SQL injection, or maybe for example my passwords aren't hashed. At the end of this series, I'm going to be going over the entire website and making it 100% secure. So even though you guys are like, you know what, your passwords aren't hashed right now, I'm going to wait to handle all of the security stuff for the end, because security is a topic that's going to take multiple tutorials, and I just don't want to, scatter it across. I want to focus on it. So that's why I'm saving all the security stuff. Going to get the website working, and then we're going to secure it. That's the way I make my websites, and it's the easiest way, especially when I'm making tutorials and I have to teach you guys about it. So next, what I want to do is I want to set that variable that we pulled down from the URL equal to the variable key. So let me just go ahead and copy this, cheat a little bit, and we're going to change this to key. So In the next tutorial, what we're going to be doing is actually checking, querying the database, and making sure that pretty much a row exists where the email equals this and the key equals that, pretty much the user's information, and we're going to be moving it from the temporary table to the permanent table. So just remember, in this tutorial, we pretty much validated that it was indeed the correct URL, and the first step is complete, and they didn't try to hack our website so far. So grab the email from the URL and grab the key from the URL, and if it's indeed valid information, then store it in these variables. So now these variables should be good, so we're ready to move on to the next part, and we'll touch on that in the next video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.